Okay, so it's Coach Mark here, and I want to be brief, but I am bearing some scary news for you. If you're the parent of a young baseball player, or you are a young baseball player, in either case, the hopes, the dreams, the plan, the goal is to play Division I baseball. I mean, I've been in this space for almost 20 years, and I've worked with thousands of kids that had that goal. So it wouldn't be unthinkable that that is your goal. And it's achievable, it's reachable, but there are some things that you need to know to make sure that you swing the odds in your favor. And the one thing I'm going to talk to you about today is the transfer portal, because this is new. A lot of people don't understand it, and they are forgetting about how competitive it is to get to the Division I level. So let me remind you of a couple things. Number one, most Division I schools have 11.7 scholarships to divide up among 35 to 40 kids on the roster, okay? Very few, not saying some don't get full rides, but it's not like football, it's not like basketball, where they're getting full scholarships. That's almost unheard of in baseball, okay? So the math starts to shrink down the amount of money that's available for the 40 kids. Now, of those kids, there's some kids that are on no money. Maybe they got money from academics. Maybe they have very wealthy parents. I talk to college coaches, and every once in a while, they'll tell me about a kid that his parents say, hey, give that money to somebody else. We got it covered, okay? It's very nice, but most people are not in that situation, okay? So those college coaches are dividing up 11.7 scholarships over a large number of kids, okay? So that's number one. Number two, it used to be that if you were a high school kid, you were being compared to high school kids, and you were the vast majority of the population competing for a roster spot, okay? High school kids. But now, because of the transfer portal, you've got a gigantic influx of kids that are already in college, and they are competing for the same spot that you are as a high school kid. This is all new. Okay, and what that means is, if you're a college coach, you've got this pool of kids to look at here in high school. You got this pool of kids to look at here in junior college, and now you got academies, and you got gap years where kids are taking a year off and just focusing on development. You got that group of kids. Then you got the whole group of college kids that are already in college, already have proven themselves. And if you're a college coach, you're going, wow, I got quite a big group of kids to fill that 11.7 scholarships. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? It's harder than ever for you as a high school kid to get the money from that big group of kids that are possible. Okay, that's the point I want you to make. So if you're a college coach, you're sitting there looking at this going, I need to win next year, okay? I'm on a contract. And who's going to help me win next year? Not 3 years from now, next year. Who's going to help me win? Well, if you're a high school kid and you're a little bit, development project, and you got a college kid over here that's already proven himself, they're taking the college kid. Okay, so a lot of schools are taking less high school kids and more junior college kids, more college kids, okay? So the numbers are changing right before our eyes. Now, I don't mean to be gloom and doom, because it's not all bad, but here's what you need to know. To wrap this all up, here's what you really need to know. If you are a late bloomer, if you have not done a lot of the things the right way when you are 11, 12, 13, 14, and you get to 15 or 16 years old, it's going to be a lot harder for you to compete with those college kids, because you you haven't been on the fast track developmental program. Okay, that's where a lot of kids are. Okay, but here's the good news. If you're 11 or 12 or 13 and you've got some guidance, some people helping you, I like to say grooming you for that Division I level. In other words, everything you're doing is specifically for that goal. You still have a great chance if you have the ability. Now, let's not forget about talent. Okay, we can't act like you do everything right, but you have no talent. You still get there. That's not the case either. You have to be talented, but there's a lot of talented kids that don't do everything right that don't get there. So what I'm saying is, I want you to know you need to start early, and you need to be developed with people who know what that development looks like. Just playing baseball isn't enough, okay? I promise you, there's a lot of talented kids that go through this and they didn't have good guidance. They thought they were better than they were, and the clock strikes midnight about their junior or senior year of high school, okay? Remember, we're talking about less than 3% of the population of high school players get to play Division I baseball. So it's a big goal, okay? So all I'm saying here is understand what you're up against, and most important, understand what you need to be doing to get yourself in a position to vie for that money, to be competitive for those few spots. And that's called specific development. And I'll tell you where a good example, if you want to know what I'm talking about. I'm a big wrestling fan. Okay, so right now the NCAA wrestling championships are going on. The best wrestlers in the country. Well, not surprisingly, they were also the best high school players in the country, and they were the best youth wrestlers in the country when they were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, because some of them had tremendous talent, but they were being groomed. They did all the right things, and if you follow their career, they're right up wrestling for national championships. So what I'm saying is, you don't see too many of the kids in the top wrestling championships that started when they were 10th graders. Just doesn't happen, because they needed all that time to develop for that extreme elite level. And when we're talking about Division I baseball, understand we're also talking about that extreme elite level. So, not trying to scare you. I'm trying to wake you up to know it's possible, but you got to be doing the things the right way. Now, yes, that is what I do for a living. I am a consultant for young athletes and their parents and guide them through this process, okay? In other words, I know what it looks like, and I can keep you going down a path that keeps you in the mix. But a lot of people that don't have guidance like that, they just keep veering off and not even knowing they're not even close. They're not even remotely close to the right track. So understand there is help available for you. You do not need to wing this on your own, okay? It's out there. I'm the owner of a company called the Ambassadors Group, and that is what we do. We guide young players for a specific